Ibu, can you tell us a story about your life before
Islam
and after Islam?
I remember going to the church and getting on my hands and knees and praying, and I just didn't feel anything, no connection. And I seen people like
orang itu malah jadi tersentuh karena akhlak.
Ya,
Ada.
benar.
Bukan karena ceramah-ceramah saja gitu.
Benar.
Ya, ceritanya luar biasa. Dia ada di tempat bahaya,
Iya.
nangis, situasinya sangat sulit. Allah Subhanahu wa taala kirimkan Muhsin datang bertanya dan akhirnya bilang
Muhammad Nabina
binuru hadina min Makkah habibi nur satal Madinah.
أسألك الجنة الفردوس أصلح أحوال المسلمين في فلسطين اللهم أصلح أحوال المسلمين في فلسطين.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah teman-teman semua, tadi seperti yang sudah dilihat di depan ya, kita kehadiran saudara kita Ibu atau Ibrahim. Assalamualaikum Ibrahim. How are you?
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Baik. How are you? Abu Kabar. Alhamdulillah. Tamam. Kayfak. How are you?
Ini Ibrahim, ini saudara kita tapi biasa dipanggil Ibu, dan kali ini spesial juga ada saudara kita juga ya. Makasih ya.
Sama-sama.
Hari ini kita dikunjungi sama saudara kita dari Palestina, saudara kita dari Inggris, dan saudara kita dari
Meruya. Iya. Meruya.
Oke, teman-teman semua, alhamdulillah ya, kita sudah kehadiran saudara kita di luar, bahasanya bukan hanya orang Indonesia saja, tapi bagaimanapun juga teman-teman semua, Bapak Ibu, kita ini Muslim itu seperti satu tubuh. Jadi bahasanya mau dia orang Inggris kayak, dia mau orang Palestina, mau dia orang Kanada ya, kemarin ya Kanada juga hadir ke sini, dan banyak yang di seluruh muka bumi ini. Ketika kita Muslim berarti kita bersaudara, saudara seiman. Masya Allah ya, itu sangat erat hubungannya ya, Masya Allah. Nah ini Ibu, hari ini ada beberapa pertanyaan. Seperti biasa teman-teman, disclaimer dulu, saya Inggrisnya kacau. Jadi di sini ada dua sahabat saya, dua saudara saya, ada Indra dan ada Yahya yang akan mentranslate.
Yang sama-sama kacau juga Inggrisnya.
Yang sama-sama kita belajar bahasa Inggris juga, dan kita sudah sampaikan kepada Ibu juga bahwa bahasa Inggris kita kacau. Tapi setidaknya kalau saya, alhamdulillah dengan perkembangan teknologi, saya ada AI untuk translatornya ada. Saya juga sudah siapkan pertanyaan dengan bahasa Inggris. Nanti akan mengalir begitu saja, insya Allah ya. Oke, Indra dulu nih mulai sepertinya.
How are you, Ibu?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.
Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you, Habibi.
And I ask you politely to be kind with us with the English.
Yes, slow.
I'm really sorry for this.
It's okay, sober.
So, Ibu, can you tell us a story about your life before
Islam
and after Islam? Like
yes.
before.
Okay, I take it slow.
Where you come from?
I'll take it slow.
And how are you?
Okay, my name is Ibrahim. I'm 29 years old.
Okay.
I'm from the United Kingdom.
Which part?
Manchester.
Okay.
From
United
Blackpool.
or City?
London. Chelsea. I'm actually from Blackpool. It's like
Blackpool.
Yeah. It's a seaside town near Manchester, but you guys know Manchester.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah. You know, I was born. Well, my parents make me turn Christian when I was a baby. I did my baptism. This is what most people. Where I'm from, there's no Muslims. You know, it's a Christian town, Christian country.
Okay.
So I was born and raised a Christian, a Roman Catholic.
Is it like a small village in
No,
Blackpool?
it's small. Yeah, it's a smallish town. It's a seaside town. It's like Las Vegas, America. It's party town, big wheels, roller coasters.
Okay.
You go there for holiday, you know. So it's nice in the summer. It's nice when you're a kid, when you're a child, you know. Okay, so I go to Catholic primary school, nursery, Catholic high school. Religion for me, growing up, I learned the Bible. But as I get older, I think as I got to high school, it goes in one ear and out the other. You know, I'm growing up. I'm not really bothered about religion as a young child. You know.
So you was a practicing Christian?
Never.
Was?
No.
Never?
No. In United Kingdom, Christians, they go to church on a Sunday. There's not much discipline, not much prayers. Most people just go there with the family sometimes. I say 1 out of 100 people will go to church on a Sunday.
Yeah.
It's the ratio. It's not a very religious country. Not pious, like everyone here, Salah. No prayers. Some.
Okay.
You know. So, growing up, I know about the Bible, but you know, as I get older, I start getting into like playing football. I'm going out with the boys, my friends. You know, meeting girls, partying, drinking, everything, smoking. That's the normal thing to do in England. You know, I start from young age, 12 years old.
12-year-old?
Yeah, everyone's drinking, partying. Yeah, Wallahi. Wallah, everything I say on here, wallahi, it's true.
That's
wallah.
way too early.
Way too early. It's a different way of life, but to us it's normal. It's normal. It's absolutely normal. And that's the bad thing, that's the sad thing. It's that mindset is normal to live this way. Which now I realise, when I look back, astaghfirullah, but back then, you know. Anyway, so I'm in high school and I start getting into trouble all the time. And you know, I don't really know what to say really about high school and about when I was a kid, but you know, I was a good kid, a good boy until I go to high school.
Oh, okay.
And then I start to become, you know, start to do what I see people do around me, I start to do as well.
What's happened there?
What's happening? Like a parrot, you know, just copying people, you know. So I was so far away from God, a connection with God at this point. You know, I was pretty much like full on kafir. I didn't even believe in God at the time.
At that time, you consider yourself as agnostic or atheist?
Atheist.
At that time?
Do you know what it was? No, not necessarily. I believed in God, but I didn't believe Jesus was God. And through history, I know that the Bible was corrupted by like the Vikings, the Romans. It's a westernized version. It's been translated many, many times. I already knew this. We're taught this in school. So my faith, my like level of faith was very weak because of the unauthenticity of the Bible. So how can you believe? I just didn't believe in it. I didn't believe in the Bible, but I did believe there was a God. I just wasn't sure at the time. So, you know, as I go older, I party more. I'm partying more. I'm getting into trouble more. You know,
you're getting into a rave scene.
I'm getting into
rave scene.
Exactly. I live in Blackpool. It's like Las Vegas.
Yes,
you know, I'm going to the clubs every day, all night. Sometimes I'm up for 5 nights, no sleep. And I'm getting into trouble all the time.
Rave scene in 90s in Blackpool is right.
Yeah,
it's like
you know. Yeah, this is like,
I was a raver.
You was a raver too.
In 90s.
Mashallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has guided us.
I mean, inshallah.
And you know, Blackpool, everyone goes to Blackpool for the rave. They know for the rave. Everyone goes there to you know.
Wow.
So, I'm just going to try and make it short and brief. So, I meet a woman, I end up having a child. I have a son, he's 9 years old.
Oh, you already have a son?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, I've got a son. His name's Jesse. Mashallah, his name is Jesse.
Jesse?
You know, when I was only a kid, myself, I was a child, and I had a child. I was not ready at the time to become a father. I'm very grateful.
What age is it?
I think I was 19.
19? Oh, you have a son.
Yeah.
In 19.
Yeah, he's 10 now. He's almost 10. He's almost 10. Bless him. 10. He flies by so quick.
You're still in contact with him?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Well, it was, you know, not always. It wasn't always that way. You know, I wasn't allowed to see him at one point.
I just knew this.
Yeah. You never know. I don't really speak about my story, you know, properly. I'll tell you more. I have a son. I'm with his mother, and I meet her in the pub. You know the pub
The pub.
where you're drinking.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A pub. Yeah.
Yeah. I meet her in the pub, and you know, when I see her, you know, I fall in love straight away. You know, when I see her, you know, I was only young. I never loved someone before, and again, relationships outside of Islam never work. They never work. There's no stability, no guidance in these relationships. So I've learned this firsthand. And you know, this relationship was breaking down. She was drinking all the time. I was drinking too. You know, it wasn't a healthy relationship, but we cared about each other. I'm just trying to tell you how I found Islam. So, okay. So my dad passed away. My father, he's my best friend. I live with my father.
And when is that?
He passed away 2018.
2018.
Yeah, so he died you know, he died of a brain hemorrhage. You know, he was my best friend. Wallahi, he's like, you know, I don't like to reenact it, but he's like had a brain hemorrhage. He's like half of his face like this.
Okay.
And the ambulance had to come, inject him with like morphine, make him pass out, and that was it. That was the end of him. You know, and I remember sitting in that hospital and thinking, I remember sitting in that hospital. And I always used to go to the hospital with my father. He had diabetes. You know, he'd be vomiting black liquid. He'd never really look after himself. He was drinking too. He'd go to the pub. He's a good man. You know, it's normal. Like I say, you know, may Allah guide them. May Allah guide us all. It's normal. And I remember the nurse. He like come to me in the room. And I think he's okay. I don't know what happened. You know, I think he just had a stroke. He's okay. And the nurse came up to me. Said, I don't know how to tell you this. My mother died of the same thing. And as soon as he said this...
The nurse said that to you?
Yeah. As soon as he said this, I was like, oh, no. I said, what are you talking about? She said, he's had a brain hemorrhage with mass effect. Like, there's blood all over in his skull. It's like exploded. You know, his brain's exploded. You know, and I remember that night, like, you know, I was questioning a God, like, why you doing, why me, you know, so he took this away from me, you know, and I remember staying there all night in the hospital with him in the bed until he didn't actually die. He was still alive under, you know, he was still alive under the machine, you know, life support. He was under life support. I stayed in the bed with him, you know, cuddle him for the last time.
Masyaallah.
12 hours later, he flatlined. And just as he flatlined, my sister come in the door, and then he flatlined. So my sister travelled to come see him in the hospital, and as soon as she come, he died. So I feel like he waited for my sister.
Masyaallah.
So my dad's dead now at this time.
You really have a close relationship with your dad.
So close, it broke me. I didn't have no taqwa. I was not God-fearing, no faith. Like, I was very lost. At this time, I didn't care about anything, and it was very dangerous. I didn't care about anything. You know, and I ended up going worse and worse, getting into trouble. I have 5 sisters, 2 brothers, and we'll talk about them later. But basically, like, when my dad passed away, I actually grew a strong hatred towards everybody and everything. I hated life. I didn't even want to be in this world anymore. You know, I thought my life has always been bad, you know, and it's just, I never had it.
Blaming yourself.
I was blaming myself. And, you know, and also, I think I was, I don't know, maybe I was doubting God at the time. And anyway, so in the back of my mind, I want to learn more about religion, but I'm not ready at this point yet. You know, I have many brothers and sisters, and it was very worried for me. I went off the rails. Like, I went off the rails. I didn't care for anything anymore. I got very depressed, and the longer time went on, the more bad my mentality was getting. I started like hanging around with the wrong people, and you know, and the drugs were getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
What type of drugs are you using?
I'm not really using them at the time. I'm not really using them. I'm around them all the time. Like, all my friends, They big bags of drugs, cocaine, cannabis, everything is normal at a young age. That's how they make money. In Blackpool, not many opportunities. Everyone's got a big box of marijuana.
Wow.
Everyone's got a big box of cannabis, cocaine, big box of ketamine, and that's how.
Legal?
Huh?
Legal
or
Illegal.
illegal?
Yeah, illegal.
Because in Dutch, Belanda.
Yeah. No, in England but it's normal. It's like Dutch. Like people don't care about the law, and the punishment. It's not very severe enough. You know, people go to jail. They get half the time out, and they actually like it in jail. You're with all your friends. And it's not that bad, and they're with all the friends, and you know you actually go to jail, and it's like going to a criminal university. You come out even worse, so it's not good. It's what happens in jail that changes people. People who experience bad things, they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. They seek a better way of life. So for me, let me just say it like this, okay, where was we up to?
What happened when after your dad died?
Yeah, so I was going downhill.
You become worse.
Yeah, so I became worse at this time, and you know, okay, so my dad passed away, the house got took off me, I had no home, I lived with my dad, and I ended up being £20,000 in debt. The government take my house off me, kicked me out on the streets, bro. I had nowhere to live. I remember...
That's in 2018?
2018, you know, and at this time, I remember sleeping in my bedroom. I had a bedroom and a family, and they take it away from me. My dad died. I remember sleeping in the back garden of I was locked out of my own house. Freezing, bro. In the winter, it's cold in the north. It's cold. Yeah, not nice times, man. Alhamdulillah for everything, though, because big lessons made me who I am today. And...
How's your mother?
She's okay. She's okay. She's all right. Yeah, she's still. My mum's still alive. She's a beautiful woman. I love her. At this time, I was not right in the head at the time because I was always getting into trouble, and so my mum, like my mother, she tried to like be there for me, and I just couldn't be good. Like I didn't have that guidance routine. And I kept upsetting my family. They kept worrying about me. You know, they kept thinking about. So like my mum, you know, my mum was so worried about me. I was always getting into trouble with the police. You know, her cars. So my mum picked me up. The last time I see my mum before Islam, my mum picked me up in the car. The police mark her car as a drug dealer's car and start following her. And then she starts crying, and she called me and she say, Joe, she's like, you know, I got her to drop me off somewhere. She said, where did you go? Where did you go to? The police have rung up. They say, they tell my mum they know what I'm doing. This is when I was very young. Like, I looked to Billah, it's in the past now, that's where it's going to stay. And they mark her car, and she starts crying, and saying like, you've put my car on they keep stopping me. And I said, Mum, you know, at this point I felt really, really bad. Like I didn't care about anything until my family started getting involved and started like hurting my family through my actions. And she started to cry and say like, why, you know, what's happened to you? What's happened?
What changed you?
What changed you? What changed you? You know, and when my mum rang me, crying, you know, that it was bad. That was a bad moment. That was a bad moment for me. And I started to think, maybe, you know, I should seek a better way of life. But it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. I was a greedy guy. You know, I didn't care about anything. So what I did was move away from my family, so I couldn't hurt them anymore.
Okay.
I went to Hull City with my family. You know, family business and all that stuff. You know, it's not there no more. You know. Most of my family's dead now, but I go to Hull, and this is, you know, where when I was, when my dad died, you know, trust me, I started to take drugs at this point now. I'm in Hull, and you know, instead of going to the clubs now, I'm going to like, you know, worse drugs.
Becoming worse.
Yeah, becoming worse, like the darkest of the dark times. Auzubillah. You know.
And your mother knows about that?
Yeah.
About that moment you become worse?
Yeah. So I wasn't like taking worse drugs, but I was messing around with the people whose the drugs were getting
How
worse.
she react?
Yeah, she was upset. She was upset because the police would always call her and they would always tell her what I was like.
Oh,
The police would always like, oh, where is he? They always look for me, always looking for me.
She loved you so much.
Yeah, she loved me. And there was another time, my sister, so she just turned 18. It was kind of, so the way I started to look for Islam and religion, what saved me was actually my family's love for me and not letting me go, you know, never giving up on me. My sister, she had a boyfriend. His name was, I'm not going to say his name, obviously. I'm not going to say his name, sorry. I need to be careful what I say, but okay, my sister, she had a boyfriend. And basically, you know, at this point, I had loads of money. I thought I was the man, ego, all this stuff, all this irrelevant stuff, never made me happy. And, you know, he was 16 at the time. And it was my sister's first boyfriend. And this was one of the things what make me search for religion. And she's my little baby sister. I love her. In my head, I think I'm doing like good thing. I bring her boyfriend to me. Get him work for me. And he was a young boy.
What kind of job that day?
Oh, he was messing around with bad things. And you know, and I was like, you want to make some money? You can look after my sister. You know, we'll make money together. And he was a good boy. He was a good boy. And you know, and I'd take him under my wing at the time. And now I influence people to do good. Masyaallah, tabarakallah. Back then, I was the opposite. I influenced thousands of people. I was very popular where I'm from, where I live, in Blackpool, for the wrong reasons. And the whole city.
Wrong reason.
Yeah. And I influenced them to do bad things. You know, everybody. I was a bad influence. I was a casualty to myself and everybody around me and my family. And you know, and this boy, I teach him everything. I teach him things at 16-year-old to make money that took me 10 years to figure out. I give him the key to the city, everything, and I like give him everything. And the relationship did not last long. He started to get ego. He started buying gold, jewelry, money. Wallahi, the devil, shaitan, pure shaitan, and it changed him from a good boy to who he is now.
Become evil.
He's become evil, and I blame myself
for that.
Yeah, I do. My mum rang me. She goes, "What have you done?" I said, "What, Mum?" She went, "What have you done with your sister Isabel, his boyfriend? He's left her. She hates you." I go, "Why?" So this would have never happened if you didn't not done what you've done. You know, like, you know, I should have been a good influence to him, and you know, I thought, I don't know. It was her first boyfriend as well, and I ruined that. I ruined that for her. She proper loved him, and I turned him into a scumbag. Wallahi, he was a proper astaghfirullah. Honestly, I'm not proud of it, you know. And
she mad at you because of that, your sister?
Yeah. He was a good little boy, and he looked up to me, and then, you know, and as the years went on, he's you know, I ended up like becoming good slowly, and he ended up like going to like I was, but worse. May Allah guide him. May Allah guide us all. May Allah guide us all. So, my mum, my sister, they don't want to speak to me. I've lost contact with them. Like, I'm on my own now. My brothers, my cousins. I'm in Hull City at this time. And this is the turning point where I started to look for religion. You know, I've been doing this thing for 12 years now. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's the only life I know. I'm only doing what all my friends and my people around me are doing. It's normal. You know, I'm not born Muslim. I ain't got that routine, that guidance. You know, I don't know anything about religion. I didn't know anything about Islam. I was very lost. Most of my family, the males of my family, they're on drugs, heroin. They're doing bad things. When I was homeless, they used to put me into hostels at the time. And these places are big buildings, and they're full of people who just come out of jail, people who are taking heroin, injecting heroin. It looked dirty places. Wow. I shouldn't have been there. Like, I didn't even Like, I'm not like any of these guys. I'm a fresh guy. I just like to make money at the time, you know, but at a price. And I started to party a little bit, you know, take stuff a lot. I've done all the vices, you know, I have done them. But so they put me in these hostels, and you know, they look like big hospitals with rooms, but they're full of criminals. A bit like a jail, but in there, you're allowed to bring what you want in here. Drugs, like, yeah, and it's like, you know, it's like being in jail without being in jail. You know,
Is it located in Blackpool too?
There's loads, yeah. I've been all over, Liverpool, Merseyside, Scotland, Birmingham. I've been all of them. I've been in all of them, like. And then the longer I was in these hostels, I was like, I need to get out of here. I'll do anything to get out of here, you know. I didn't have a passport or anything. I didn't have a credit card. You know, and that was another reason why I ended up just doing what I was doing for the things that I did, like, was for money, and I thought it would make me happy and get me out of the situation, when that was a big mistake. So if anyone's watching this, you know, say, money will never help you. Money will never help you. It'll never make you happy. Yeah, we need it, but maybe get it in a good way. Where it's gonna maybe get it in a good way. So my brother and my cousin, they come down to Hull City. I'll try and slow down. Sorry. My brother and my cousin, they come down to Hull City, where I live, and they come to stay with me. And I was getting into fights all the time at this time. You know, I really didn't know who I was. This was like the end turning point for me. And there was a lad called, it's called Doncaster. It's a lad from Doncaster. You know, he lives in Springbank. Springbank is in Hull. It's a naughty, the rough, bad area of Hull. And this guy's like coming and broke into my house with his mates. And he's come upstairs, he's come in with a big knife, this size, a big meat cleaver. He's come in with a little ski mask with his mates. And my little brother's a good lad, he's a good kid. I was on my own at this point.
He inspired from a movie called Jason?
Like Jason. Exactly like Jason. He had a mate with him who came upstairs, but he knew who I was, and he's gone back downstairs straight away. This guy's off his head, smoking. He must have been off his head. Well, astaghfirullah. You know, I don't talk about this story, but I'm going to talk about it because this is just the truth. So he's come in, and he said, like, give me money or I'll kill you, I'll kill your brother, I'll kill your cousin. Give him my money straight away. I said, you must need it. So this is the first time this has happened. I give him my money. My brother's there crying. You know, I'm like, sorry. I don't know. I had no words to explain. I'm a cousin. I had no words to explain, like, what happened. Yeah, my brother, he's a good boy. He reverted to Islam as well.
Alhamdulillah.
Mashallah. But back then, he didn't want to speak to me now as well.
Mashallah.
I know I was getting into trouble all the time, and I put him in danger. I put my brother in danger and my cousin. And then later that day, I'd gone into another house to get my money back from this guy. I should have just left it. And me and my cousin had gone in there, and then his house is bolted. He's got a big metal door on his house. Like it's there for a reason, because I don't know what he was doing. And I've gone into his house, and he's actually outside the house, around the corner down this alley, and he's come and locked me in the house. And he's got a metal gate at the back of the back doors, a metal barricaded door. And he's rang me up saying he's going to shoot me and he's going to shoot my cousin.
A very well prepared house for locking inside.
It's a lock-it, safe house. He's locked me in there. And he's like saying he's going to get this gun, he's going to come shoot me. And my cousin's there, and I'm like, oh no. And he's a big boy as well. My cousin's big, and he's like, he can't get through this window. I had to make the decision to smash the window, jump out. I got my cousin, my other big cousin. I rang him saying, sorry, you know, tell him the situation, and he's come and saved me again. He always saved me. And he's come and got us out of this house. I had to leave my cousin in that house. And he was just thinking, again, I'll put my family in danger. So at this time, I'm actually a good boy. I've got a good heart. I'm a loving guy. I'm thinking, why am I getting into this mess? I want a different life. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want to be a good brother. I want to be a good father. I want to be a good person. I don't want to hurt anyone. I never did. I didn't used to go around battering people. You know, I was just in a bad place, and I loved making money. I didn't hurt people. I thought, this is not right. This is all I know. It's normal. What's up with me? This is normality. That's the Western society. It's a big error. It's a big error. You know. So at this point, I think I leave everything behind. I close all my social medias down.
Yep.
There's more. And I end up
What
getting
kind of social media at that time?
Facebook, all of them. So there's more where
MySpace, yeah.
I ended up getting arrested.
Oh,
So
okay.
I ended up getting arrested. And this was a big wake-up call for me. I've got a son as well, and I thought, you know, I can't keep doing this. I'm going to end up in and out of jail or dead, clearly. And I got caught by the County Lines Police in Hull City, and they released me under investigation. So this whole time I've been under investigation. And I started to look into Christianity at the time. I thought I could get away with everything and anything, until one day they caught me, and you know, they gave me. It was bad. It was a wake up call. And luckily, that was a wake-up call. A lot of people, they go to jail and it's not enough. It's what they learn inside of jail. Bad place. They wake up. Because people who have been through the most stuff usually get guided to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, the worst people's lives have been, sometimes they've experienced everything, you know, and they see the value of something like Islam. A lot of people get guided in jail, because that's where they first see it. They see these men change their life around, drug dealers, murderers, come to pious men preaching Islam. Wallahi, complete 360. They're different people now. That is only possible with this Islam, I'm telling you. So, like, I knew nothing about Islam. Let's talk about Islam now. I knew nothing about Islam. I was a scumbag, but I wanted to become a better person. I was a good boy, but I've turned into a scumbag from losing my father, feeling sorry for myself. And alhamdulillah, astaghfirullah. So I started.
You're using word scumbag reminds me of Transporting movie.
Yeah.
With Rantan and Sick Boy.
Do you know what? Even now, like, the shaitan can play with me. I'll talk about it later. Like, he can blag us and think like, you know, oh, you know, don't you miss that life? Don't you miss all of it?
If you watch Transporting movie,
Jason Statham, yeah, you know, he's next level. He's next level. He's, you know, like I said, I didn't really. Do you know what? I was a well-respected guy. Like, all my mates, all the dogs, all my boys around me, Manchester, Liverpool, Blackpool. Not like London. The people in London, they go into jail for stabbing people. The Muslims stabbing other Muslims. It's quite ruthless in London. Here's like fresh people, good upbringing background, fresh. Everyone's fresh, you know. But like, you know, naughty. But London's different.
So back again, like. When did you first heard about Islam?
Yeah, so let's go to Islam now. So I'm looking at people around me, and I was religious when I was younger. When I was young, I was religious, so I feel like I need to get a better, closer relationship with God.
With God, okay.
At this time, well, I didn't go to Islam straight away. I actually tried to study Christianity more, all aspects, evangelism, Mormon, the testimony of Jehovah's Witness, the testimony of Joseph Smith, you know, Roman Catholicism, Protestants, Orthodox, all of them, because I wanted to find truth in all. I wanted to find truth in Christianity, just to see, you know, alhamdulillah. And I went to the church. I remember going to the church and getting on my hands and knees and praying, and I just didn't feel anything, no connection. And I seen people like. I know that faith is the most powerful thing. People without faith become lost, drinking, indulging in vices, you know, and it's not good. So I tried to learn as much as I can about Christianity. There were so many contradictions in the Bible,
yes,
you know, and inaccurate changed translations. And it was actually me searching for Christianity. I started to learn about Islam through like dawah. Christian and versus Islam debates.
Yeah.
So I was watching Ali Dawah a lot.
Oh, Ali Dawah, yeah.
Muhammad Hijab.
Yeah, I know.
Hijab.
Yeah, Ali Dawah's a revert as well. Like he was like
Oh,
me
really?
before.
Ali Dawah is
he was
a
like
revert?
me before. Same in the clubs.
Muhammad Hijab from Egypt.
I know.
Yeah. But he's British.
Ali
Egypt,
Dawah.
British, yeah. Ali Dawah's Kurdish, but he lived in London all his life.
Oh.
Yeah, most of his life. May Allah
I
bless
didn't know
him.
he's a revert too.
Yeah, he was like me in the clubs and everything. Same thing. I'm
okay.
telling you, same. I'm
Mashallah,
telling you.
mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay.
So you learn just about Islam or another religion also?
And I learned, well, do you know what? I was learning about Christianity. I'm not bothered about any other religions like Hindu. I never believed in that. Like, may Allah guide us all. And I respect all religions. But I believe in God. You know, I've started to research about like the Torah a little bit. And I don't know anything about Islam at this point. I think that the Muslims believe in a different God. Who is Allah? I don't know who he is at the time. I don't know that they believe in the same prophets. You know, apart from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I didn't know, and all these questions that I had. I watched Ali Dawah and Muhammad Hijab, and everything they were saying makes sense to me. I thought, I believe that. Even as a Christian, I believe the same. I believe in one God. I want to be a better person. I believe that there's one God, that he's the creator. At the time, I didn't know about the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. So it was through searching about Christianity, I was introduced into Islam. And I ended up after that happened with my cousin, like, that was it for me. I vowed I'm never going to get into trouble again. I'm not going to get into trouble again. I don't want that life. I've had that life since I was a young boy. I'm done with it. A lot of people only get into it at later life. I've done it since I was a kid. Like, I don't want to do it anymore. I want a better life. I want to get married one day. I want to have like a nice family, you know, and functioning family, nice. I want to be a good person. I want to have a business. Surely we can change our lives, inshallah, if we try. So, alhamdulillah, you know, it's possible. Wallahi, it's possible. Look at me, alhamdulillah, through the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's very possible, very possible. I only wish that I reverted 10 years earlier, but alhamdulillah. So, when I was watching Dawah, I was very, very, very interested in Islam and the beliefs. And, okay, so my uncle's a Muslim, my auntie married. Muslim, Kurd.
Kurdistan.
Yeah, many of the Kurdish actually came, and during the Iraqi war, they came here as immigrants.
Your uncle?
Yeah, his Uncle Nazam. I love him, Nazam. And all my little cousins are Kurdish, but it's the test of the West. A lot of people from the Arab or Persia, they come to England, they fall off their deen straight away, start smoking drugs, start making money, haram. Because, you know, people, it's hard. And it's true. We call it the test of the West. It happens to many foreigners. Like, they come to the UK thinking, better life. Next time they're not praying. Next time they're going out, meeting girls, partying. Because they've never had this. Never had this. You know, so may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us all on the straight path. So even though I had a Muslim uncle, he never taught me anything, you know, and I asked him once to take me to the masjid. He said, no, he didn't take me. I asked him how to teach me to pray. He didn't teach me. He gave me a Quran. He said, learn yourself. Okay. And this was my auntie's Quran.
And what year is that?
This was 2019.
2019?
No, 2018. 2018. Yeah. This all happened. So when my dad died, and so all that stuff I told you about, that was happening since I was like a kid. So like 14, all that bad stuff. So like 19, when my dad died. Just to put the timeline straight, when my dad died, I think it was that year I went to Hull, and that happened with my cousin and my brother. So, sorry, I know it's confusing.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I know the timeline.
Yeah,
okay.
So at this time, he gave me a Quran. And I'm not learning much about Islam. I moved to Birmingham because I'm watching this Dawah, and for the first time in my life, it's something that I believe in. I believe in God. I believe there's a God. I believe in this revelation. I learned about the Hafa, these people who memorize the Quran, so nobody can change it. Like, the Bible's been changed over 3,000 times. You know, 3,000 up to the King James version.
James version.
Yeah, Astaghfirullah Azim and Astaghfirullah Azim, and there's clear evidence and proof of this. Where the Quran, so I do believe that the books were true, but they've been changed by man. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He sent the Muslim. And they're the only one, the Hafiz, the preserver, alhamdulillah. It's thanks to the Hafiz, the preservers, Qori, the Hafiz, preservers, that Islam is still, through the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they're memorizing it so no one can change it. So that's authenticity, 110% authenticity for me in itself.
Masyaallah.
So that inspired me. I heard about Ali Dawah's story as well, you know, and he's like changed. He told me I heard about his life before Islam, you know, in the clubs. So he's like me, like, and he's changed his life around. Look at him now. Wallahi, I used to look up to these, you know, I used to look up to people who was bad people, you know, I guess the gangsters, you know, and now I'm looking up to as role models, Islamic men, dawah givers, and they really inspired me and give me a. You know, at that time, they gave me belief I could change through Islam. Goodness was going to come my way. So I made the decision to close all my social medias, like, because you are who you surround yourself with. Yes. If I'm talking to all my friends, they'll draw me back, and they'll draw me back in to that life, that world. You have a good point there. I had to get rid of everything. I cut it all off. I quit my job, everything. I went to Birmingham, you know, I went to Birmingham, and I looked like Tom Sawyer. There's a little story of Tom Sawyer, the little homeless guy. I have a little bin bag. I just started again, and I took a gamble, like, you know. And I was outside McDonald's, you know.
How much money do you have at that time?
A couple of grand.
A couple of grand.
Yeah, not much at this time, because I tried to stop myself, and I wasn't making money anymore because I'd stopped doing bad things. Now I thought, you know, I want to make my mum proud, and, you know, I want my family back, you know, I'll get them back.
Mashallah,
so I'd take this, it's the shaitan, we can keep taking the easy route, the easy option. Yeah. This money, you don't have value for it. There's no value of money when you make it in a bad way. You don't care about it. If you made £1,000 like that, couple of hours, Blackpool, bam, £1,000. Yeah. You don't care about it because you didn't do anything. I just used to sit there and it would come to me, and I did not value it. I did not value that money. Now I learned when it's hard worked, you know, you spend it wisely, and it's like, yeah, I earned that. I've earned that. And that's beautiful. But I had £2,000 left. I had like a bin bag of clothes, and I just got out of a train station, literally Birmingham New Street. All right, and you know, I've sat outside McDonald's, and this Muslim's come up to me straight away. It was at night time, all the hotels was closed. I didn't even have a phone. I didn't know where I was. And I was actually pretty sad. I was actually reflecting back on my life and the past 5 years, what I'd been doing. I was very ashamed of myself. I thought if my father was alive, how disappointed he would be of me. And my mum was disappointed. All my family, disappoint. All I've ever done was disappoint people. And it hurts. It hurt me. It hurt me enough to change me.
You're blaming yourself a lot, I guess.
It was my fault. It was 100% my fault. And it was my fault. You know, I used to blame other people. It was always his fault. It was always his fault. It was never my fault. And then I was actually admitting it was my fault at this time. I started crying, man. Like,
in front of McDonald's
in Birmingham, in front of everybody, and people was walking past, and I just couldn't stop crying. I couldn't stop crying.
What age is that?
Crying. I'm 20 at this time. I think I'm 21 at this time. I'm crying like a baby.
Wow.
You know,
literally crying.
Literally crying my eyes out, bawling, and people are coming up to me going, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "Go away," you know.
Really?
Yeah. Like I just didn't, like, I couldn't control it. Control it. And do you know what? I was always trying to be tough. Like, my dad died, and I just missed him, and thinking, like, if I could see myself as Joseph 10 years ago, and what would he say to me? He'd be crying, he'd be disgusted. What have I done to myself? Tattoos all over my face. You know, I've damaged my body, man. Inside. You know, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala heal me slowly. Inside, you know, because drugs do damage. Alhamdulillah, I mean.
And then some Muslim
come up to me. So a Muslim came up to me, a Muslim man. His name was Mohsin, and he's Mohsin. I'm still learning. Okay, his name's Mohsin, and so in Birmingham, is Pakistani, English Pakistani, and Indian. You know,
Pakistan.
Hanafi, Pakistan.
Yeah.
They're spreading the deen. Like the people, the brothers in the United Kingdom are passionate about dawah. Same in Indonesia. Wallahi, same. Alhamdulillah. But obviously in the Arab world, everyone's already Muslim. You know, we can try and like. There's still big dawah people in Arab, but I mean, they go there to try and revert atheists. You know, they all go in there. So they're very passionate. I met a guy called Mohsin. He was also a dawah guy, like infamous but famous in Birmingham.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's got his own like Islamic charities and. He's helped so many people. Like, yeah, may Allah bless him. He's very powerful in what he says. The taqwa is strong, bro. The man is strong in him. So okay, he's come up to me. I was crying my eyes out. And he's come up to me. He's like, "What's up, Akhi? What's up?" I didn't even know what Akhi meant at the time. I didn't. I was like, go away.
What's up, Akhi?
Yeah. And I go, just go away. I'm all right. Go away, please. Just get away from me. And he goes,
"Oh, you rejected him?"
Yeah, I rejected him. I rejected him because I was ashamed. I was crying, you know, and I like to just. And he was like, "Brother, come on, you don't belong here." He was like, why are you sitting down the streets, bro? It's dangerous here, Birmingham, on the night. It ain't like where you're from." He could tell by my voice. He went, "Where are you from?" I went, "Blackpool." He went, "Come on." He said, "You'll end up getting shanked out here. Let me just get stabbed." Birmingham's very, very rough. Like,
oh, he said that?
No, it is.
He's warning you about that?
Yeah, no, it is. I used to live there. Like, it's worse. Birmingham, London, on the streets at night, just crazy homeless people. From Africa, and they're on drugs. In the daytime it's all right, but night time it's no safe. So he said to me, it's always about drugs in the UK, but it's a dangerous place. But he said to me, you know, life is not over. You know, the best is yet to come. You're only a young boy. You're still a young man. He said, "Come with me." I just trust him. I don't know why, but he said, "Come with me. I have a house. You can stay in it for nothing."
He's offering you that?
Yeah, he said, "Look, you can get on your feet again, and we can get you ready." I tell him about my dad and what happened, my story. He said, "You can come stay with me. I've got a house near my house with his wife." He let me stay there. Wallahi, there was a guy upstairs from Pakistan. He speak Urdu, but it was nice. And I said, "Why are you helping me?" He goes, "It's for Allah." I remember at this time, I didn't know what it meant at the time, but I said, okay, and it sparked more interest. I knew who Allah was, but I never heard someone say it like that. Like, I'm doing it for Allah. I didn't think these type of people existed. Everyone who I met, even my friends, only bother if they're getting something to benefit. People, you know. If I was doing bad, I didn't ever have a friend who would come and console me and, you know, make sure I'm okay, just for the genuineness at the bottom of their heart. Never had that. Never had that.
Before you continue the story with Mohsin, can I discuss this with Wisnu and Yahya?
We pause.
Ini poinnya bagus banget ya. Artinya ketika di Birmingham, Mohsin menemukan seseorang di pinggir jalan gitu kan,
tidak kenal juga,
ya tidak kenal gitu, dan sedang menangis, he's crying gitu, and Mohsin come up to him, datang ke dia dan menanyakan ada apa gitu. Bertanya ada apa aja itu zaman sekarang sulit loh.
Iya betul.
Iya nggak? Kita tuh berempati.
Nggak mau bertanya karena takut
keterusan bertanggung jawab gitu. Misalnya kita di tengah jalan di pinggir jalan ketemu ada orang menangis. Kita tuh mau sekedar bertanya, kenapa, ada apa gitu. Itu tuh takut sekarang tuh. Karena takutnya ceritanya apa, terpanjang terus gitu.
Malas orang dengar.
Jadi ini nilai yang bisa kita ambil nih, Masyaallah ya, Mohsin ini ya. Ketika menemukan dia menangis, crying gitu kan, dia justru bertanya ada apa gitu. Ini akhlak Muslim yang harus kita hidupkan lagi ya.
Betul.
Dan ini juga jadi poin juga ketika kita melihat orang itu malah jadi tersentuh karena akhlak.
Iya, benar.
Bukan karena ceramah-ceramah saja gitu.
Benar.
Karena kita kan ini disampaikan banyak guru-guru kita juga kan, ketika kita hanya memberikan, lo nggak boleh kayak gini, lo harus kayak gini gitu, atau apalah bahasanya gitu ya, malah itu kan nggak kena ya. Tapi ketika langsung sentuhannya tuh langsung ke hati gitu ya, ada apa itu kan, ada apa aja kayak kadang-kadang kita kan, ya Allah, ada yang ini sama gue nih.
Ada yang masih baik bertanya kepada
care
kita.
sama gue nih gitu kan. Itu kan
padahal walaupun mungkin bertanya ada apa, dia nggak bisa memberikan solusi.
Betul.
Tapi ketika kita sedang dalam masalah, terus ada yang bertanya, kamu kenapa gitu loh.
Itu
meringankan banget loh.
Betul.
Satu lagi, Allah Subhanahu wa taala tidak membiarkan manusia. Ya, ceritanya luar biasa, dia ada di tempat bahaya. Nangis, situasinya sangat sulit. Allah Subhanahu wa taala kirimkan Muhsin datang bertanya dan akhirnya bilang karena Allah.
Masyaallah.
Orang tidak kenal langsung dia bilang karena Allah. Itu sebenarnya ceritanya luar biasa. Dari awal saya tidak mau potong kata beliau. Saya benar-benar mau dengar lagi karena ceritanya luar biasa banget seperti itu.
Makanya ini saya potong karena ada poin penting yang perlu kita hidupkan lagi sih, kepedulian kepada sesama ini ya gitu loh. Artinya kepedulian Muhsin terhadap sesama manusia ya gitu. Walaupun dia mungkin tahu agamanya beda tapi dengan dia bertanya begitu, itu kan akhirnya melembutkan hati.
Dan itu poin juga, Andra. Artinya seorang Muslim itu dia tidak memandang ini bukan agama Islam, gue nggak usah tolong nggak kayak gitu. Kita kan nolong siapapun kita tolong gitu ya. Jadi nggak mungkin ada orang celaka kita tanya dulu agamanya apa nggak kayak gitu. Tapi dalam Islam tuh memang kan nolong gitu loh. Ya kan?
Are you already with tattoo that time when Muhsin
everything.
See? Tuh. Muhsin tidak melihat bahwa
fisiknya dan segala macam.
He's with tattoo. I don't want to help him.
Orang tidak kenal, tidak ini langsung dibantu.
Padahal semua badannya bertato. Mungkin stigmanya kan wah
negatif
bertato, jahat, takut gitu.
That's the beauty of Islam. He trusted me, even with he never judged me. Because Al-Hakam, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala
never judge.
Mashallah.
So in that time you are 21 years?
Yeah, 21.
So you learned Islam 3 years maybe?
3 years. Yeah, small.
Because you are 29.
Yeah, more in English, like we look at like Hamza's then. Like I've never heard him really talk Arabic. So I was watching Hamza and he Mashallah, he preaches, we don't have to grow, Sunnah is good, we don't have to change our names, we don't have to learn Arabic. It's better if we do, we should, I believe we should. But he got in my head, I can read Quran in English, and I was learning in English, so that's actually quite wise, I actually know quite a lot about the Quran. Alhamdulillah, I want to learn more. But as far as learning Arabic and Quran, I was doing I was doing this in English, and it was a big error. A big error because I thought in my head, I don't need to learn Arabic. We'll talk about this later.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about this soon.
Okay.
My mistakes that I'd made, which I'd do differently as well for the new reverts who may be watching this now.
So what happened after Muhsin take you to his...
I just want to say quickly as well, so when I was crying, even when my dad died, I barely shed a tear. Shed a tear. I wanted to, but ego and pride. I did cry, but not like this. This was, I just submitted, ego dead, and I just had an outburst. But so Muhsin, alhamdulillah, he let me in his house. He really was there for me for the first time, right? He let me stay in this house. Sure. First time, I'm not smoking, even tobacco. I was smoking tobacco, not drinking. I'm not smoking marijuana. I was doing this every day, all day. And for the first time, since I was 12 years old, this is the first time in my life. The first few days, but after a week, I was fresh. Mashallah, I was fresh. He didn't say anything about Islam. He didn't get me in and groom me.
Okay.
A lot of people say about reverts in UK, you're a ginger, or did you revert in jail, or was you groomed? You understand groom?
I know.
They think this. Wallah Azim, he did not say anything about Islam, but because I was curious, because I watched Ali Dawah, I was asking him questions, always. And because I was asking him questions, he'd get all his friends. One wallahi, all the Muslim brothers treat me like a brother. Even when I was a Christian, they're taking me for food all the time. They don't let me pay for anything. Like I had to force. Wallahi, I go to the haircut. They love me. I love them. I couldn't pay for a haircut. I couldn't pay for anything. I'm like, I'm not used to this. Like, I'm a loyal guy. I value brotherhood more than anything. I never found that in my old life. You know, it was full of rats and snakes until I went to Islam. But not all Muslims are perfect. It's something I learned in Birmingham. There's false pretenders, Muslims with the shaitan, and there's a difference between Muslims who make salah and Muslims who do not pray. It was kafir at the time, I believe this, or lost. May Allah guide them. So most of the brothers, mashallah, they go out their way, they teach me, they tell me to watch Dr. Zakir Naik, Mufti Meng. So my life before was so negative. I'm entering in this world of happiness and peace and goodness I never knew existed. Motivation, and wallahi, I'm meeting loads of reverts who was like me in Birmingham. Worse, I've met reverts like me, but worse, who was in jail, and they revert in jail, and they're giving dawah in jail. And all the lads from Liverpool, they're smacking socks over his head with like snooker balls because they're racist. They hate Islam. So a lot of the white people hate Islam because they believe propaganda after Iraq, Afghanistan, and they think everyone misunderstanding. They don't know anything. They have no information. They're and it's not their fault. It's the media's fault. It's the media propaganda. Wallahi, Muslims are the kindest of people. They have the best families, best relationships, you know, with their family, with best husbands, best wives, but the best relationships with their God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They have the best discipline, the best structure in life, the best way of life, the kindest people. Wallahi, you know, the Muslim treat me as good as my family treat me. They love me as much as my family love me, my real family, which is very beautiful. And I actually was very upset, like I'd only just found Islam after all these years.
Mashallah.
You know,
Mashallah.
and I'd say to people who are born Muslim, like, wallahi, inshallah, I'm going to learn Arabic, inshallah, I can try and tell you how amazing your religion is. Don't take it for granted. Because, wallahi, if you could go in my brain and be in my shoes, you would never step, inshallah.
When you're taking your shahada.
So I'm with the brothers, I'm watching Dr. Zakir Naik, like, wallahi, and I didn't necessarily want to revert to Islam. I had no choice. It's the only thing that I've ever believed in. I accept it to be the truth. It's the way of life. Wallahi, I've been waiting and looking my whole life. Those who seek for a better way and the truth, those who seek, they will find it. But you have to put yourself out there, and inshallah it'll find you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide you. So, alhamdulillah bil alameen, bro. You know, wallahi, I remember it was 2018, Eid, Ramadan.
Ramadan 2018.
Yeah, and they invite me to this Ramadan meal. And, you know...
Mohsin invite you?
Yeah.
So, the first Ramadan in UK?
For me. Well, no, not the first Ramadan. We have Ramadan in UK.
I'm asking you. The first Ramadan. So I
was not even Muslim.
You are fasting.
No.
17.
No. I wasn't fasting because I wasn't Muslim, but they still invited me to the Eid party. Even as a Christian.
Okay.
They still invited.
So this is before Islam.
Yeah. This is all still. I'm not even a Muslim yet. I'm still a Christian. You know, I'm still a Christian.
Jadi waktu mau Muhsin itu dia udah diundang ke acara Ramadan.
Padahal dia belum Muslim.
And I'm hanging around with the Muslims and they're teaching me slowly. You know, I want to make sure that I know what I'm stepping into. Alhamdulillah, I want to learn. I don't want to just revert and just jump into it and not know what I'm reverting to.
That's a good point.
You have to, and you know, you have to. It's the best way. So the Eid party, wallahi, Mohsin had a son. His name was Zakaria. And he is a Hafiz, like 8-year-old. He loved me, wallahi.
8-year-old?
Yeah, he loved me, bro, like a brother. And I love him, you know. And he kept teaching me about Islam. And he was happy. He was getting ajr, hasanat. Yeah. He was teaching me about Prophet Ibrahim from the beginning. That's why my name's Ibrahim. That's why my name is Ibrahim, because of him.
Teaching by 8-year-old.
And then the Hafiz taught me, Wallah, he's smarter than most of the sheikhs that I know today. Wallah, he's very, very wise. It's because of Mohsin. Inshallah, he'll be a great ustad one day. Yeah. And, you know, I say to him, I say, Zakaria, I want to become Muslim. I want to be your brother. I want to be a Muslim. You know, I've been through a lot. You know, I've had enough. You know, and I let him take my shahada. I did my shahada with him.
So Zakaria is the first person.
Yeah, me and him, like inshallah, can be connected till Jannah. Like he's a part of my deen. He's the one who, like, through the grace of Allah, you know, he did the shahada with me. The shahada is a very special moment. And I remember when I first uttered the words, and this feeling, like, and it lasts forever, bro. Don't get me wrong, the shaitan still can get me, but it still gets me now, still resonates now when I look back. You know, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Masyaallah. La ilaha illallah. And yeah, and I remember when I go home, I'm Muslim. I'm reborn, I'm a new baby. All these shukran, alhamdulillah, all these problems and all them sins that I made before, what was weighing on my shoulder, like wallahi, like weighing me down like heavy weights, like gym, like all these bad deeds, I felt reborn. I finally felt forgiven. Finally, when I went to the church and I tried to pray for forgiveness, nobody was there. Nobody was there. Never felt anything. I'm not going to go chat to a man for forgiveness, a confession. In Christianity, you have to speak to a man, you know, so we can relate. A'udhu billah, doesn't make sense. You know, when I did my shahada, wallahi, I took the most of this. I wish that I'd done it years and years earlier. Because at this time I was still I still had this pending charge. That's not why I reverted to Islam. It was my family. You know, alhamdulillah bil alameen.
Allah knows the best.
Allah knows best. Allah knows best. Best times. So I thought, alhamdulillah, I'm happy. And I put. He gave me a juba, gamis, galabaya, whatever. Alhamdulillah. And I put the first one on. My first one is white, like the student, colour of students. You know, and I've got my tupi on. And I got mishwak. He come and got me everything. Yeah, wallahi. And I remember like listening to. I was reading the Quran, learning about the pillars of Islam, the Asma al-Husna.
Masyaallah.
Masyaallah. And I always remember the song. It's a nasheed, A'udhu billah. It's a nasheed. I don't really listen to nasheeds that much. I listen to Quran now. Yeah. But at first I was nasheed. That's what helped me. It was nasheeds first and then Arabic Quran. But I was reading English Quran.
Yeah.
Like Mawlaya salli wa sallim da'iman abadan ala habi. You know, I'd always like listen to that, and wallahi, I put that on my headphones. You know, and the Arabic, just the love that you had for Allah when you sing this song. You know,
is there anything you want to ask?
I could feel it.
So nice story.
So nice story.
Saya benar-benar terharu mendengar.
كلب ممتاز جدا so amazing.
Touch about your story.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. جزاك الله خير حبيبي.
الله يحفظك.
الحمد لله. ثبتك الله. حياك الله. When I يا مولاي صلي مولاي وصلي.
Yeah.
Is that name?
مولاي صلي وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم
مولاي صل. Exactly that one.
It's a very nice song.
You know that exact song, that exact tempo.
He's a singer.
That
Nyanyi juga dia.
Wallah. Masyaallah. Baru kita kenal sekarang.
محمد نبينا
بنور هدينا من مكة حبيبي نور سطع المدينة.
Wallahi, your voice is beautiful. Wallahi.
Thank you so much.
I'm very blessed. Honestly, wallahi, I say alhamdulillah that, you know, he's put me in front of such beautiful brothers, bro. And Noor. And wallahi, I love you all for the sake of Allah.
Thank you.
And thank you. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
So, tanya lagi nggak?
Udah banyak sih sebenarnya, Masyaallah sih.
Tapi I want to ask you about
inshallah, anything.
I want to ask you about your tattoos?
Yes.
This is very, I guess this is a very common question. Have you ever judged for your tattoo?
Yeah, I get some, never to my face, always. I've got some, like, if you see in the comments, every video there'll be like a few comments, remove mushroom, haram, astaghfirullah, la, washim.
Because they don't know.
They don't understand,
truth.
it's completely taboo and forbidden for them.
Your story.
Yeah, but what they don't understand is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He guides whom He wills.
Yes.
And Islam is made for, is for the world. It's for no one in particular or a nation or a group. It wasn't for the Arabs, it was for the world. You know, the revelations for the world. And, you know, like when you revert, all sins are forgiven. Al-Ghafur, Al-Rahim, Masyaallah, Tabarakallah. In the West, most people have tattoos. Let's say 8 out of 10 people, they have at least one. 5, heavily covered. 5 out of 10 people. So we're going to start seeing a lot more tattooed reverts because it's common. But Al-Ghafur, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala know the intentions. You know, all sins are forgiven. I do get a little bit of stick. When I first went to Masyaallah Nabawi, okay, I'll talk about the journey later, but when I first went to Masyaallah Nabawi, like, wallahi, they're really keeping that place safe. So I was just blowing up on TikTok. So I've been Muslim a few years, and then I made this Muslim TikTok. Like I didn't even mean for it to happen. I just made a TikTok because I didn't have social media and no social media. I made a TikTok, made one video, Masyaallah, and someone reached out to me because I was trying to give dawah to. I wanted to help other people be saved because through the grace of Allah, because I've had that life and I feel so passionate about my friends and my family, and I want to guide them. Wallahi, I cry at night time because I don't want to just leave them and forget about them, you know. I have so many friends who I talk to now, they want to revert, and they have reverted. Tens and tens of thousands of people from all over the world have been inspired. Alhamdulillah, there's a new, wallahi, there's so many reverts. But I mean, I went to Medina, tattoos. Sorry, I get carried away.
Okay.
And the guards at Medina, Masyaallah Nabawi, halas, you Muslim? Nah, la, you can't come in here. Wash him. Because they're not used to it. Hadith. I tell him, I try to explain, I'm a revert. You know, they wasn't. When I first started going to Masyaallah Nabawi, they was not used to it. There was maybe a few people who had been on with tattoos. We seen it on social media, but I was the first one with all the tattoos. So they was not expecting this. They couldn't believe it. But the guards had never seen me on TikTok yet, you know. So they didn't let me in at first. One of the Saudi Saudi officials, the royals who was there at the time, Sheikh Mubarak from Khobar, that man, he's like, Habibi Ibrahim, he know me. Alhamdulillah. MashaAllah, Allahu Akbar. Come. And he goes, hello, Habibi. And he goes, and then he takes me into Masjid al-Nabawi. He didn't even say anything to him. He goes, he's Muslim, halas. And then he make them take a picture of me and then put in the little office. When you go up into Masjid al-Nabawi, you turn left up there, there's an office. I'm in there, so they knew not to reject me again.
Do you still have that video?
Yeah. No, I don't. I deleted it. We can talk about that later. It was about Evil Eye, actually. Because I said it was Evil Eye. So they let me in. And it happened a few times when I first went to Medina. But all I can say is, alhamdulillah, they're really taking it serious and protecting and respecting, you know, the masjid of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Rawda. It's a very sacred place, holy place. There's been a couple of occasions when there's been Australian women tourists trying to go in there with no hijab. They got arrested. And as you know, non-Muslims can now enter Medina. Why? I don't know. You should only be able to go there on a business reason, but you know, it is what it is. We've seen recently.
It's getting viral on YouTube right now.
Yeah, it is. We've seen the Hindis walking in the masjid. What? A'udhu billah. I don't understand. Allah yasir, alhamdulillah. But yeah. So all I can say, if people have got tattoos, you know, you don't have to remove them. if you've been forgiven, Al-Ghafur Al-Rahim, for reverse.
Yeah.
In fact, it can be haram to remove them. Wallah, it can be haram. You're actually burning skin. I choose to do it because they're evidently on my face.
So you have a plan to remove your tattoos?
I do it slowly.
Oh, mashallah.
Every couple of months, every month, I laser them. I laser this.
The technology nowadays, they have lasers.
There's no technology that can get rid of it quick.
Pelan-pelan dia.
That's one of the progress.
Not really, man. You can look. It's took the shading out the back. This was black.
Okay.
For some reason, the outline, it takes a long time. It's like deep in my skin.
Are you using lasers?
Yeah. Okay. Actually, I forgot his name. There's the guy you have to recite Surah Al-Rahman here. And
Ahmad Zaki.
Ahmad Zaki
Ali.
Ahmad Zaki Ali.
Dari komunitas Yayasan Gerak Bareng. Ahmad Zaki Ali. Dia bikin penghapus tato gratis keliling. Tapi syaratnya harus menghafal Al-Quran. Menghafal Ar-Rahman.
He knows I'm a revert Mualaf, and he knows I don't know Surah Ar-Rahman. Like Abdullah, I wanted to try, but he knows I really want to remove the tattoos. Like, you don't have to, but if you have the opportunity and you have the money, it is pain, but try and do it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May you be rewarded. Alhamdulillah, maybe do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be good influences for Alhamdulillah. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept all people, even if they have tattoos. We don't know. In the hadiths, it just says, even born Muslims, we don't know. We should remove them if we can. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it, the intentions. That's why I believe that. But yeah, I meet him, and he said he helped me last week. So it's expensive, and Alhamdulillah, I've got enough money to remove the hands and the face.
But I see one of your links, you're making crowdfunding for removing tattoos.
Yeah, so
is it still available?
No, it's not available, no. So Alhamdulillah, thanks to the Ummah, you know, I was going to remove my face and hands, but now I'm going to try remove my whole arm. And this was about a month and a half ago. I did my face. You have to let it heal for 2 months.
Mashallah.
So I've got it now, and I've met somebody, Masjid Sadiq. Masjid Sadiq near Chubabord.
Chibubur?
Yeah, Chubabord, near Chibinong, maybe Chibinong. He said he would, you know, alhamdulillah, he said he might try and help me remove all of them, maybe.
They're covering
once a month.
Oh, they're covering the for your payment.
I said that I can help them with the cost with the hands and the face. He says, inshallah, he will help me. Obviously, the rest. Inshallah. He will pay for it, he said. He will pay for it. Inshallah. He's going to help me, inshallah. All of them. You know, so inshallah. And that's why when I was traveling, I was getting a laser session here and then in another country. I was sweating, I was getting infected, my arm got infected. When I lasered this whole arm in one session, my arm, wallahi azim, big, an infection. I could have lost it. So I realised I need to be stable. I came back here. I live in Indonesia now. Learn Al-Quran.
Okay.
Learn to read Arabic.
Alhamdulillah.
You're
living in Indonesia right now?
Yeah, near Jakarta. Near Cibubur. Yeah. I'm not going to say the location, but near Cibubur.
Okay.
Yeah. Wallahi, I love Indonesia.
Masyaallah.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, so the tattoos, you know, I've had a lot of help as well. Wallahi, I've had a lot of help. You know, but sometimes the Muslim think is like you laser it once, it's going to go away. It takes multiple sessions, and because it's my face, they can't do it as powerful as they would here.
It's very sensitive.
Place, skin thin, and
beda ya kulit wajah ya. Kulit wajah sama kulit tangan tuh ya.
Wallahi, I actually get discouraged sometimes. I think like, what's the point? It doesn't even look like, but it's getting a bit fade, a tiny, you know, it's getting a bit fadey, slowly. That's the most. That's the most lasers. This had 7 lasers, seven. This. Yeah, inshallah.
May Allah make it easy for you.
I mean, wallahi, it hurts. It hurts more than, but you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide. But before I die, I want them removed, inshallah.
Masyaallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you Ibu. Masyaallah. Teman-teman semua nih, Masyaallah nih Ibu ya. Ini luar biasa ceritanya, panjang sampai Haya juga sampai terharu ya. Benar-benar cerita yang luar biasa bagaimana kehidupan beliau di Blackpool ya waktu itu ya. Dan begitu luar biasa sampai di Birmingham terus ketemu sama Muhsin, ketemu akhirnya tadi bagus banget tadi itu Yahya bilang Allah mengirimkan Muhsin.
He wants to say something special to Muhsin. Please.
Yeah, inshallah.
Say to camera.
Inshallah, if you see this, alhamdulillah, I'm pretty sure you've seen me on the media. We've lost touch. But wallahi, I love you for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and barakallah feek, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in your family, in your business, Jannat al-Firdaus for your mother, mashallah. And wallahi, I love you, wallahi, I love you, and you had such a big impact on me, bro. If it wasn't for you, alhamdulillah, I don't even know if I'll be here today. Wallahi, I don't know if I would. And we have the brotherhood for a reason, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, keep yourself surrounded by the best of brothers. The best of brothers. Yeah. And he is one of them, inshallah. And I would love to see you again.
Amen.
Inshallah. I've lost contact with him. Yeah. He lives in Green, Hodge Hill, guys, you know, if anyone knows Mohsin from Hodge Hill, message me on Instagram or contact me.
Inshallah. Do so.
Inshallah. I think I'll track him down if he sees that.
You should. Inshallah. I think you should.
Inshallah.
Ya semoga ya kalau misalnya kayak pertama kita juga menyampaikan juga Yahya juga punya Instagram baru juga nih.
Oh iya.
Lupa tadi kita sampaikan ini tentang Yahya. Jadi Instagram Yahya bisa teman-teman nanti kita juga masukin ya di kolom caption di bawah YouTube. Nanti di Instagram saya juga termasuk juga Ibu nanti saya sampaikan. Mudah-mudahan sampai ke Muhsin insyaallah ya mudah-mudahan ya. Ini kita pertama Allah yang mampukan, kita semua atas izin Allah, tapi kita juga tentu berikhtiar semaksimal mungkin untuk bisa menghubungi saudara kita Muhsin ya insyaallah. Mudah-mudahan. Teman-teman mungkin itu dari kita hari ini. Alhamdulillah senang banget sama Ibu. Thank you Ibu. Jazakallah khair. Masyaallah.
Amin. Sama-sama.
Baik.
Inshallah guys, I'm going to be doing a lot of content here with Indonesia, like travel and food and culture. I love all the Indonesians and I love Indonesia, so alhamdulillah bil alamin.
How about if someone wants to collaborate with you?
That's fine. You can contact me, anyone. We're going to go around Indonesia. Food, religion, and culture.
Okay.
Inshallah. Anybody. Inshallah.
Ya, thank you juga ya. Makasih ya, jazakallah khair.
Sama-sama guys. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you so much. Dan semoga ini memberikan kita banyak hikmah ya dengan cerita dari Ibu. Luar biasa banget dan Masya Allah apapun yang kita lakukan ingat Allah itu selalu bersama kita ya. Dan insya Allah mudah-mudahan kita bisa berkumpul kembali di surganya Allah.
Amin.
Barakallahu fikum. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.